Hi, Rick Harsch, author and editor of Corona Samizdat books. Uh, I'm taking a little break from a editing job, something I have to do to make money. And interestingly, it's an editing job by a Marxist talking about art. And I realize that I have a very strong interest in leftist economic theory. I agree largely with it. And I have a very strong interest in art because I engage in it in the form of fiction. And yet, I realize as I plow through this nonsense that I can, in the same amount of time um, I am spending editing this nonsense, I am uh, probably using 1/10 of my abilities. If I were free to write and publish during the same hours, I would produce 10 times more value. So, what that suggests, of course, is that in order for a capitalist or neo capitalist or whatever fucking system we're in, um, we are only able to fit art into the system by packaging it. It's packaged. And as art is unpackageable, it's distorted. And we can't really talk about art. Even as a Marxist can't talk about art. They don't, it doesn't work. It doesn't fit. And that is something that I like to think about this press that I didn't intend to start but did anyway. And because it's a nonprofit press, and I don't have to do anything. I am free to do whatever I want, um, and that allows me to print things like the assassination of Olaf Palme. I don't know if anything like it has ever been done. A purely anthological novel. Um, we also have other experimental works out, although some of them, like for instance, Brassard's book on Vietnam, it's not selling very well, which really surprises me because it's the Vietnam War is um, probably uh, one of the defining, if not the defining moment of the United States in the 20th century, um, and had the most powerful impact on the world in its way. Maybe that's not true. I don't know, but still, it was an amazing and horrific event, and Brassard criticizes it better than anyone. And so we printed that, and I don't know. I think we sold 20 or so, which really surprises me. The books that are selling the best are The Manifold Destiny of Eddie Vegas, a big maximalist novel, George Salas's first novel, the Sea Above, um, Sky Below, or Sky Above, Sea Above, I don't know, whatever. Sea Above, Sun Below, I think it's called, yeah. Um, that's dementia, and so I don't have many years left. Uh, we also have some things coming up um, that are going to be spectacular. One of them is the America, the novel America and the Cult of the Cactus Boots, a diagnostic. That is a first novel, and it's already gaining a lot of traction. And the way it came about was a strange thing. I was struck by the address, Rugby Road, of a guy who ordered Eddie Vegas, and he immediately started writing a novel about a guy waiting for Eddie Vegas, and it it sounded like it could be very interesting, but somehow we both took it extremely seriously. At least in that we both expected it to be great. The author and myself. There's also an illustrator who the author works closely with, and it is going to be. It's something that would never happen. A first novel supported and treated seriously by a large press. That would never happen with a large press. Prove it, man. You got to prove it. And the way you prove it is to survive several packaging techniques that this one would never have survived. And so it would have to have been written um, without any encouragement or support, and then would have to have gone to an agent, and no agent would have taken it, and it would have gone nowhere. And now it's going to become one of the great works of the 21st century, I think. Uh, and then we have the Brassard books, which failed in the system that exists. But when I read what an independent reviewer, Stephen Moore, wrote about them, I immediately thought, I gotta read those. And then I found that they were out of print. And I quickly found that it was easy to get permission to print the three best Brassard books, in my opinion. Someone who's never read any Brassard. Um, and the big Brassard book that we printed, Wake Up, We're Almost There, is doing very well. And As the Wolf Howls at My Door, which is slowly begun, has slowly begun the printing process, that is going to do even better from what I gather, from what I've heard, and from the questions I've gotten. We also have first novelists, and like David Vardaman. He's not a first novelist. David Vardaman's been writing his whole life, and he's in his 60s. And so we're going to put out a play by him this year on Cotton Mather, of all things. Completely different from anything else he's done, but fantastic. I've read it. And we also have Jose Reis from Portugal, whose books I haven't read, but 15 pages of one book I did read, and I said, that's for us. It's going to be called Bedraggling Grandma in Russian Snow, I think it's something like that, is going to be the title. And we're going to print that. Now, so far we've printed 15 books, and none of them have been bad. They've all been excellent. We've been very lucky. I'm willing to publish bad books, to take a chance on a young writer and have it be less than like, okay, we could compare first novels. Salas's first novel we can use as a benchmark because his first novel is really a first novel. It's written by a young fellow in his 20s. And so I'm willing to print more first novels by people in their 20s. And maybe they won't all be as good as Salas's, or maybe they'll be better. We don't know. But I'm willing to print them and let them fail, and let them even be bad, because uh, this is how you have to do it. You can't prove ahead of time that a book is great, or good even. You just take a chance on people and their books, and that's how Corona Samizdat is going to work and continue to work. And so by the time we have 30 books, I expect one or two will be pretty bad. I don't know which ones. Maybe one of mine will be bad. I have a book about India that I haven't published yet. It was my great book, I thought. But when I looked over it again, I thought, it needs a little more work. So I'm not going to publish it until I've put more work into it. And it's a pure, deeply Indian book, so a lot of people just won't give a shit. Um, but those who do will probably get a lot out of it. So even that won't be a bad one. Now, the moral of this story is I have to get back to work on an essay about art and Marxist versus capitalist economy, and it says very little of any worth, and yet I have to go do that instead of working on what I really want to work on. That's capitalism.